Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the obvious answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hello, my name is Steve, and this is my very good friend Andrew, and we're up from Brighton.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Lee, and this is my work colleague Simon, and we're from Essex.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Alex, this is Janet, and we're work colleagues from Luton.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Ken, and this is my wife Lizzie, and we're from Edinburgh.
And these are today's contestants. Thanks, all of you. We'll find out more about you throughout the show as it goes along, so that just leaves one more person for me to introduce, a beacon of truth in the dark corridor of uncertainty. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon.
And to you.
I think we're going to have an absolute cracker this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
We've got three returning pairs, and I think all three returning pairs were unlucky last time, so I think they're all going to be strong. Lizzie and Ken were unlucky. They were one word out on their question. They said black and white instead of black or white for a Michael Jackson song. The second round, Lee and Simon were unlucky because we gave them a fashion question. And then most unlucky, Janet and Alex, who got through to the head-to-head, and we were 1-1 in the head-to-head, and they saw a picture of Channing Tatum, the model-turned-actor, and called him Tatum Channing. Saw themselves knocked out. It's really, really tough luck. So we've got three very strong pairs, and we've got Andrew and Steve, who, as everyone from Brighton would say, are up from Brighton. And so I expect they're going to be very strong as well. So it should be an absolute classic. Round one, real old school Pointless. The sort of thing that we didn't know so much about 500 shows ago, we know a bit more about now.
Excellent. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, all our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show. Our contestants need to find the obscure answers those 100 people didn't get. Of course, everyone's trying to find a pointless answer, that being an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Now, Kate and Isabel didn't win the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £2,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this first round, I'll take an answer from each of you, but there is to be no conferring. And at the end of the round, whichever pair has the highest score will be heading home. OK, our first category today is chemistry. Chemistry. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns chemical elements. Chemical elements, Richard.
In a moment, Xander's going to show you 4 criteria on this board, and we're looking for any chemical element that fits into any of the 4 criteria you're about to see. And we're using the list of elements as of 1st of June 2012. That's issued by the IUPAC. So any of the elements on that table that fit into the 4 criteria you're about to see. Very best of luck to everybody.
Who are the IUPAC?
They're the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. They are great guys.
I love those guys.
They are. We quite often have parties around at my place.
Yeah, well, they've become great friends of the show, haven't they?
Really great friends, because they supply us with these elements, and I invite them round. We have element parties.
Terrific people. Brilliant. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, as Richard just mentioned, we are going to put 4 criteria up on the board. And the answers you give have to fulfil at least one of these criteria. OK, here are those 4 criteria. Elements that are noble gases, elements with a single-letter chemical symbol, elements with names that contain 4 letters or fewer, and elements with names that contain the letter C. I'll read those all again. Elements that are noble gases, elements with a single-letter chemical symbol, elements with names that contain 4 letters or fewer, or elements with names that contain the letter C. Now, Steve and Andrew, you all drew lots before the show, and today you are going to go first. Steve, welcome to Pointless.
Welcome.
Great to have you here. Up from Brighton. What do you do in Brighton?
I'm a self-employed decorator. So...
Have you done that forever and ever?
No, I've only about 30 years now.
Good stuff.
Seems a long time ago.
So when you're not painting and decorating, what do you like to get up to?
I change from time to time. At the moment, I'm actually
I change every day.
Yeah,
I find that keeps things fresh.
At the moment, I'm trying to teach myself the guitar.
How are you getting on?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I've been doing it about 6 months now, so,
OK.
You know.
Now, how about these chemical elements?
Pretty sure of a couple of them.
OK, what's your best shot?
I'm going for tungsten.
Tungsten. Tungsten, says Steve. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said tungsten. It's right. Two. Very, very well done indeed. 2 for tungsten. Richard.
Well played, Steve. Yeah, chemical symbol W. We've had 3 shows recently where we've had 1 new pair and 3 returning pairs, and all 3 times the new pair have won. All 3 of those times. We're going to see it 4 times in a row. It's a very good start.
Very strong indeed. Now, Lee, welcome back. Now, remind us what you do, Lee.
I'm a collections manager for a digital print company.
And in your other life, Lee, what are the high points of your secular life?
The birth of my children. I think I would say I went to all the recordings of Alan Partridge, which was a big moment in my life.
Oh, did you? Were it at TV Centre?
Yes.
Nothing sad about that.
It was fantastic.
Was that from the Knowing Me, Knowing You, or from the I'm Alan Partridge?
Both.
Oh,
I went
really?
to literally all of them, yeah.
Brilliant.
Very lucky.
Good stuff. Now, how are you feeling about these chemical elements?
I wouldn't have chose it, but I think I've got an answer.
Tell us what your answer is.
I'm going to go chlorine.
Chlorine. Chlorine says Lee. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said chlorine. It's right. The bar's been set pretty low by Steve with 2, but down chlorine goes. Very well done to 9. Another single figure. Great score.
Yeah, chlorine. It's got a C in it, of course. And chlorine they extract from the smell at swimming pools. That's where it comes from.
Thanks, Richard. Janet.
Hello.
Janet, welcome back to Pointless. Now, remind us what happened last time.
We got through to the head-to-head, but we went out on the 3rd question when we reversed the name of an actor.
And Alex, you have a theory as to why this might have happened.
That is, because we work in a library, we have to shelve things by the surname. So that's the reason why I got it wrong.
I think that's exactly right, you see. Now, Janet, tell us what you get up to in your spare time.
Well, I'm working my way through a list of 50 things that I've never done before for my 50th birthday, all to be done in 1 year.
So when is your... Sorry, this is a very rude question, sorry. But this is some time off. You're not telling me you're 50.
I am, yes.
Blimey.
But one of the things is to get on the TV quiz show.
So this is it? You're ticking off...
I can tick this one off now.
So touched. Thank you very much for picking us as the game show to be on. What else have you done?
Oh, I did a taekwondo lesson.
How did it go?
Oh, terrifying beyond all measure.
Very good. Good stuff. Well, chemical elements.
No, I think I'm going to go for neon.
Neon, says Janet to neon. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said neon. It's right. 31 for neon.
Well done. Yeah, neon, 4 letters. You see, also it's also one of the noble gases, so fits into 2 of those criteria. There you go. See how this works?
There we are. Yes, I'm getting the hang of this. Now, Ken.
Hi.
Ken, welcome back. Now, remind us what you do, Ken.
I'm a principal information analyst for the NHS in Scotland.
And remind us what you get up to in your spare time.
Oh, I do all sorts of things, write musicals, plays, play board games, do lots of theatre.
So, Ken, what are you going to go for?
I think, hopefully I'll get this right, rather than the last time. I'm going to go with cadmium.
Cadmium. Cadmium, says Ken. Sounds good to me. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said cadmium. Well, there we are. It's right. Now, our best score of this pass has been 2. Let's see if you can get down there. 4 for cadmium. Not bad at all.
That's a very good answer. Very well done. Yes, was used in electroplating a lot.
Thank you. Good.
It's a pleasure.
That's good. Thank you. We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores as they stand. 2, the best score of that pass. Steve, very, very well done there. Tungsten, what a great answer. Up to 4, cadmium, Ken, very well done. Ken and Lizzie and Steve and Andrew looking pretty strong. Lee and Simon not too far ahead of them on 9. And then 31, Janet. That's quite a long way ahead. So, Alex, we need a brilliant answer from you in the next pass and have to hope that's enough to keep you in the game. Best of luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? Now then, Lizzie, remember we are looking for the name of any chemical element that fulfills one or more of these criteria. Now, Lizzie, and you work in the same line as Ken?
Yes, I do.
In fact, even in the same building as Ken.
Thankfully not in the same team.
Not in the same team. And obviously, we discovered last time you have a lot of interests in theatre. What else are your interests, Lizzie?
Reading's got to be my #1 hobby. Obviously, with a toddler, you have a lot less time for it.
Certainly. Or you're just reading a lot of books for toddlers, yeah.
Same book over and over again, really,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do you have a favourite author? Or...
Favourite author would have to be Georgette Heyer. She wrote in the 1930s to 50s, Regency romances.
Very good. OK, well, you're on 4. You're on 4. The high scorers are Alex and Janet on 31. If you can score 26 or less, you'll avoid becoming the new high scorers. What are you going to go for?
I am going to go for Laurentium.
Laurentium. Laurentium, says Lizzie. OK, here comes your red line. Get below that with Laurentium, and you are in round 2. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many people said Laurentium. It's right. And you're in round 2. And it's the best score of the round so far. Very well done indeed, Lizzie. That scores you 1, takes your total up to 5. Very well done.
Well, Lizzie and Ken mean business today, don't they? That's a terrific answer. Yeah, named after Ernest Lawrence.
I'm picking up quite a good working knowledge of the periodic table, but Laurentium's one I hadn't...
Oh, really? Is that new to you?
Yeah, that's
a good one. Tuck that away.
Yeah, I will. I will. Now then, Alex, welcome back.
Thank you.
What do you do in your spare time?
I sometimes have my daughter, so a lot of times reading to her, but also I like to organise parties as well. So we had one leaving do a little while ago where we had like a movie-themed one. So we had the paparazzi outside taking pictures and clapperboards with titles on and stuff like that.
Good stuff. So do you do parties for the library team as well?
We know how to party at the library.
Oh, I would imagine every day's a bit of a party,
Of course
isn't
it is.
Yeah. Now then, you're the high scorers, Alex.
I know.
You're the high scorers. But I think you'll have a good answer.
Thanks for your faith. I'm going to say Californium.
Californium, says Alex. Californium. No red line for you as you are the high scorers, but this is quite often a low scorer on Pointless. Let's see if it is today. Californium. It's right. Still going down, Alex. Look at that. There it goes. Very well done indeed. 5. That's a great score. Takes your total to 36. Let's hope that's enough to keep you in.
Well played. Back in the old days of Pointless, that would have been a pointless answer, wouldn't it? California. People, I bet that was your answer, wasn't it?
Oh, I hadn't even thought of one.
Oh, have you not?
No.
Yeah, Californium, it's an artificially produced element. There's only a few milligrams produced each year, Californium.
Now then, Simon.
Hello.
Simon, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, remind us what you do, Simon.
I'm a business analyst for the same digital printing company that Lee works for.
And remind us what you like getting up to when you're not doing that.
I'm a big fan of Norwich City. We actually are part of a group called the Chelmsford Canaries, who we set up, and we've got our own flag and everything like that. So
Fabulous. Are you there every week up at Carrow Road?
I would say we're there every week. I have a daughter, so she takes up some of my weekends. But I like to go as often as I can. So.
Good stuff. Now then, what are you going to go for, Simon?
There's a few I've got in my mind. I think, though, I'm going to go with arsenic.
Arsenic. Arsenic, says Simon. There is your red line. The high scorers, Alex and Janet on 36. 26 is your goal. Let's see if you can get down to 26 or below with arsenic. It's right. Well done, you've done it. Look at that. 3. Great score, Simon. 3, taking your total up to 12.
Well, I said it was going to be a cracking show today, didn't I? Everyone's doing brilliantly. That's another terrific answer. Yeah, prawns very high naturally in arsenic. I mean,
that's why they're so delicious. OK, thanks very much indeed. Now, Andrew. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you do down in Brighton?
I run a recruitment agency business.
Have you done that for a long time?
For about the last 10 years.
Good. And in your spare time, what do you like to do, Andrew?
Well, like Steve, actually, I'm a big football fan. We're both season ticket holders at Brighton Hove Albion, so most of the time is spent either at home games, obviously, and quite a few away games as well.
Very good. Now, you're on 2. You want to be scoring 33 or less to stay in the game. How do you feel about chemistry?
I don't feel very good at all.
OK. I mean, if you like, you can talk us through your thinking and your answers.
Well, I can think of a few fairly obvious ones that fit in those 4 categories. I might have to take a bit of a punt, and I'm not sure. I hope it's got one single letter. I'll say Einsteinium.
Einsteinium, says Andrew. Einsteinium. OK, there's your red line, Andrew. You get below that, you are in round 2. Einsteinium. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Oh, no. Oh, bad luck, Andrew. I thought that was a really good answer. Shows how little I know. I'm afraid it's incorrect. Scores you the maximum of 100 points. Takes your total up to 102. I'm really sorry.
That is quite a punt to take, I have to say, on Einsteinium. Yeah, it's ES Einsteinium, I'm afraid, and it doesn't fit any of those other criteria. I mean, there's all sorts of very well-known ones that would have seen you through, because lead would have scored you 13, Gold would have scored you 29. Copper would have scored you 15. There's some big ones out there. Let's go through. So there's actually very few pointless answers here. So very well done to our 100 people. I'll take you through them. Actinium was a pointless answer. Copernicium, a pointless answer. Protactinium as well. All of those containing C's. Scandium and yttrium, which has a one-letter chemical symbol. That's got the chemical symbol Y. I'll take you through some of the low scorers and some of the categories. Uranium would have scored you 2. Fluorine would have scored you 3, as would phosphorus. Those were the single-letter ones. For the noble gases, your best answer would have been radon, which would have scored you 4. Krypton would have scored you 10 on that. The element was C. We've seen copernicium. Curium would have scored you 1. Nickel would have scored you 1 as well. Would have been a very good answer. And let's take a look at the highest scoring answers, the ones that most of our 100 people said. Gold, as I say, would have scored you 29 points. Neon, 31. And right at the top, what do you think might be top here?
Carbon.
It is carbon, yeah, it is carbon, with 48 points.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our first round, the pair heading home with their high score of 102. Andrew and Steve, though, we'll look forward to seeing you again next time. I'm sorry we're saying goodbye to you so soon, but great contestants. Andrew and Steve.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. And so now we're down to 3 pairs, and at the end of this round, we'll be down to just 2 pairs. Well, very telling first round. Lee and Simon back in the game. Very strong indeed. But Lizzie and Ken taking no prisoners at all. Wonderful low scores there. Janet, very lucky there. Neon turned out to be quite an expensive scorer, but thrown a lifeline by our newcomers. So well done. Welcome to round 2, all of you. Very, very best of luck. Our category is famous people. Famous people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And the question concerns famous Geordies. Famous Geordies. Richard.
On each pass, we're going to show you 6 clues to famous people who are born in Newcastle upon Tyne or in the Tyne and Wear area. Just need to give us the most obscure, please. There's going to be 12 Geordies and all to guess at home. Good luck.
OK, so let's reveal our first board of famous Geordies, and here they are. Member of Monty Python who wrote Spamalot, winner of Strictly Come Dancing Series 2, the Big Breakfast presenter and former member of Crush, released her second solo album, Messy Little Raindrops, in 2010, footballer transferred to Newcastle United for a record-breaking 15 million in 1996, and the director of the 2002 film Resident Evil. I'll read those all one last time. Member of Monty Python who wrote Spamalot, winner of Strictly Come Dancing Series 2, the Big Breakfast presenter and former member of Crush, released her second solo album, Messy Little Raindrops, in 2010, footballer who transferred to Newcastle United for a record-breaking £15 million in 1996, and the director of the 2002 film Resident Evil. There we are, 6 famous Geordies. Lee, what do you make of that board?
I'm very comfortable with 2 of them, and I'm trying to work out in my head which one to go for, and I'm struggling. I think I'll go Eric Idle versus Spamalot.
Eric Idle, the Monty Python member. Let's see if Eric Idle's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Eric Idle. It's right. Very well done indeed. 17 for Eric Idle.
Good start from podium 1. Yeah, Eric Idle, born in South Shields.
Thanks, Richard. Janet.
I'm going to go for the footballer is Gaza, Paul Gascoigne.
Paul Gascoigne, transferred to Newcastle United for a record-breaking £15 million in 1996. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Gaza. No bad luck, Janet. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. It scores you the maximum of 100 points. Sorry.
Sorry, Janet. Right era. He's a Geordie as well. He was at Rangers at that time.
OK.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, Lizzie, you are the last person to have this board. Well, it's a bit closer to home.
It's really not.
Oh, really?
I knew one answer.
Would you want to just go through the board and just see if there's anything you might be able to submit?
The one answer I knew was Eric Idle, so I'm going to have a completely random guess. I'm going to think of a famous footballer, George Best. I'm guessing that's probably wrong.
In 1996, George Best transferring to Newcastle. Well, let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said George Best. Bad luck, Lizzie. I'm I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. Scores you the maximum of 100 points. Richard.
Unlucky, Lizzie. I disallowed that for the following reasons. Firstly, yeah, he wasn't playing in 1996. Secondly, he was never sold for 15 million. Thirdly, he was never sold to Newcastle. And fourthly, he's not a Geordie. Apart from that, it's a terrific guess, though. It's, you know, the word footballer, you absolutely got that. That's terrific. No, that is a tough board. The footballer is Alan Shearer. Not Gaza, not George Best. Alan Shearer would have scored you 27 points. It's quite a tough board, this. Now, the second solo album, Messy Little Raindrops. Who's a Geordie singer? It's Cheryl Cole. She would have scored you 25. Well done if you knew the winner of Strictly Come Dancing Series 2. People remember she's a very famous actress as well. Been in EastEnders, all sorts of things. Jill Halfpenny would have scored you 6 points. The director of Resident Evil.
Yeah, that I think I know.
Oh, do you?
Is it Paul Anderson?
It is Paul Anderson, yeah, very well done. Would have scored you 2 points. And the Big Breakfast presenter, former member of Crush. She also used to be in Biker Grove. She's Donna Eyre. Yeah, Donna Eyre. Would have scored you 1 point. That's the best answer up there. That's quite a tough board, isn't it?
That is a very tough board.
1 pointer, 2 pointer, 6 pointers. Very tough. If you don't know your football, very tough to be on that third podium in that round, I think.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. Only 2 scores between the 3 pairs. Best score by a mile, Lee and Simon. Very well done. 17, you are. And then hunkering down on 100, we have Lizzie, Ken, Janet and Alex. So, yes, Ken and Alex, it's between the pair of you to see who stays with us and who'll be leaving at the end of the round. Very best of luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, let's put 6 more clues on the board, and here they are. We have got created Viz magazine with his brother Simon, lead singer of The Animals, played PJ on the TV show Biker Grove, released albums Nothing Like the Sun and The Soul Cages, Queen of Comedy at the 2011 British Comedy Awards, and had a #1 hit with Ain't No Doubt in 1992. I'll read those one final time. Created Viz magazine with his brother Simon, lead singer of The Animals, played PJ on the TV show Biker Grove, released albums Nothing Like the Sun and The Soul Cages, Queen of Comedy at the 2011 British Comedy Awards, and had a #1 hit with Ain't No Doubt in 1992. Now, remember, we are looking for the names of these famous Geordies described by the clues. And, Ken, you're going to obviously try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. That's an easier board, I think.
No.
Isn't it?
Bizarrely, I'm a big fan of The Animals, but don't know the lead singer, which is annoying. I think I might know one of the other ones, but I think I'm going to go with the one I'm fairly certain about. I think the person who played PJ was Ant McPartlin.
Ant McPartlin.
Otherwise known as Ant and Dec.
Ant and Dec. Ant McPartlin says, Ken, no red line for you as your joint high scorers, but let's see if Ant McPartlin is right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's absolutely right. 30. Not bad at all, Ken. 30 for Ant McPartlin.
Yeah, it was either Ant or Dec, wasn't it? And you did very well getting Anthony McPartlin. When he was on Biker Grove, his on-screen mum was played by his real mum.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Probably a bit awkward for him. I imagine he must have done quite a lot of wishing his on-screen.
I think he loves his mum.
I wouldn't necessarily... I love my mum, but I'm quite glad she's not, for example, floor manager on Pointless.
Do you know what? I hope your mum is not watching. She will be in tears now at home.
No, she won't be. She'll be busy managing the floor. Thanks very much, Richard. Now, Alex, you've been set a target, 30. You want to be scoring 29 or less. In fact, not want to be, you have to score 29 or less to stay in the game. How are you feeling?
I preferred the first board because I only actually know one answer now. So I'm going to have to go for it. It was Jimmy Nail had a hit with Ain't No Doubt in 92.
Ain't No Doubt, Jimmy Nail. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. There's your red line. Get below that, you're in the head-to-head again. It's right. Oh, you've done it. Wow, 16. 16 for Jimmy Nail. Takes your total up to 116.
Well played, Alex. He was born James Bradford in Benton, Newcastle upon Tyne. Also had hits with Love Don't Live Here Anymore and Crocodile Shoes as well.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, Simon, I have brilliant news for you. You are in the head-to-head.
Good news.
You are in the head-to-head even before you've given your answer. But I have a feeling you might be quite good at some of these.
I certainly know a couple. I think the album is Sting, Queen of Comedy is Sarah Millican, but I'll take a punt to try and get a pointless answer. Created Viz magazine with his brother Simon. I'll go James Brown.
James Brown, you're saying. James Brown. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. No red line for you as you're already through. Bad luck. An incorrect answer scores you the maximum of 100 points. Couldn't matter less, though. You're already through. Your total's 117.
But I think Simon to be applauded there for actually having a go at a pointless answer as well when you knew you were through. So many people don't do it. It's a classy thing to do.
It is.
It was Simon Donald and Chris Donald. Yeah, and it's a pointless answer as well.
Ah, right.
You were right about Sting releasing Nothing Like the Sun and the Soul Cage. It's a very low scorer as well. Would have scored you 2 points. The Queen of Comedy was the lovely Sarah Millican.
Lovely.
A lovely lady she is. She would have scored you 11. And the lead singer of the Animals that you couldn't remember, Xander?
Alan Price.
Not Alan Price. Not Alan Price. Eric Burden. Eric Burden. Yeah, would have scored 19 points.
There you go.
So the best answer there, Chris Donald. Again, quite a low-scoring board, so anyone who got all of those is very, very well done.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our second round, I'm afraid it's Ken and Lizzie who are leaving us with their high score of 130. Oh, you did so well. Round one. You really meant business. And then I'm afraid you tripped up. You tripped up in this one. I'm really sorry. It means we have to say goodbye to you, but it's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Ken and Lizzie. But for the remaining two pairs, it's now time for our head-to-head. Well, congratulations, Lee and Simon, Janet and Alex. You're now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £2,000. Now, to decide which pair is going to be playing for that money, you're now going to go head-to-head. This time, you're allowed to confer. And the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for the jackpot. Well, welcome. This is both of you back here for the second time. And here you are in the head-to-head. Janet and Alex, you were here last time, of course. But Lee and Simon, welcome. So in that last round, you've each had one howler. Janet, we had Gaza from you. And Lee, we had James Brown. Not such a howler, actually. Not a bad guess, but yeah, two incorrect answers. But your other answers were enough to get you through. Now, Janet and Alex, you can put your heads together. And this time, let's get the names the right way around. Best of luck with that. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns films adapted from Booker Prize-winning novels. Films adapted from Booker Prize-winning novels. Richard.
I'm going to show you 5 stills now from films adapted from Booker Prize-winning novels. We need you to tell us the name of the film, please.
OK, thanks very much. Let's reveal our 5 images, and here they are. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are. 5 films adapted from Booker Prize-winning novels. Lee and Simon, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first.
I know A, B, and C. OK, yeah. We're going to go C, The English Patient.
OK, so Lee and Simon are saying C, The English Patient. C, The English Patient. Now, Janet and Alex, the rest of the board is yours. Can you talk us through it?
Well, we know that A is The Life of Pi, but we think that's going to be too high. B and E, not a clue. And the only one we can have a guess on is D, which we think might be Brick Lane.
OK, you're going to say Brick Lane for D. So we have The English Patient and we have Brick Lane. Lee and Simon are saying The English Patient. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. $16 for The English Patient. Janet and Alex are saying Brick Lane for D. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Brick Lane. Oh, bad luck, Janet and Alex. But well done, Lee and Simon. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, sorry, Brick Lane, not a Booker Prize winner, actually, Brick Lane. D is actually the 2012 adaptation of Salman Rushdie's Midnight Children, and would have scored 1 point, so very well done if you knew that. A, it is a big score. It is The Life of Pi, of course. Instantly recognisable there. Would have scored you 58 points. Now, B, well, the book was Thomas Keneally's Schindler's Ark, and the film is Schindler's List. Liam Neeson there. That would have scored you 11 points. And E is a pointless answer. It's Ralph Fiennes again there with Kate Blanchett. And it's an adaptation of Oscar and Lucinda. Pointless answer, so very well done if you said that at home. That's terrific work.
Thanks very much indeed. So here comes your second question. Janet and Alex, you get to answer this first, but you have to win this one to stay in the game. Best of luck. It concerns the Beano. The Beano. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to give you 5 clues now to facts about the Beano comic. Can you give us the most obscure answer? Good luck.
Thanks very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 clues, and here they are. We have got the first ever cover star, Scottish city in which its headquarters are based, the character famous for his red and black hoop jumper and sidekick Nasher, the companion comic starring Desperate Dan, and the year in which the first full-colour issue was printed. I'll read those one last time. The first ever cover star, the Scottish city in which its headquarters are based, the character famous for his red and black hooped jumper and sidekick Nasher, the companion comic starring Desperate Dan, and the year in which the first full-colour issue was printed. There we are. 5 clues to facts about the Beano. Janet and Alex go first.
Right, we're going to go for the Scottish city. It's Dundee.
Dundee, say Janet and Alex. Dundee. Now then, Lee and Simon, talk us through the rest of the board.
Should we go to Dandy?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I think we'll go to Dandy.
OK, the companion comic, The Dandy. So, we have Dundee from Janet and Alex. Let's see how many people said Dundee. Is it right? Yep, it's right. $21. 21. Now, Lee and Simon are saying the companion comic starring Desperate Dan was The Dandy. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said that. It's right. 61 for The Dandy. Well done, Janet and Alex. You're back in the game after 2 questions. It's 1-1.
Dundee and Dandy. That's very pleasing, isn't it? Nice, 2 nice answers. There's 2 answers that would have beaten Dundee, but both really, really hard. If anyone got the top one, very well done. The first ever cover star was Big Ego and would have scored you 1 point. And even harder than that, the year in which the first full-colour issue was printed. What would you reckon if you had to guess? It's a point. I'll say now, it's a pointless answer, this one.
It's going to be in the 90s. 96.
96. And if you were forced to have a guess, what do you reckon,
I'd
everyone?
have gone earlier than that.
I'd have gone about 88.
It's about 85.
Xander's closest, funnily enough. So if you're guessing at home, somebody must have got it. 1993. 1993. Very well done if you said it. Yeah, I think everyone knew the other one. It's a big scorer. It was Dennis the Menace. Would have scored you 80 points. It comes from an old music hall song, Dennis the Menace from Venice.
From Venice?
Yeah.
Well, they kept that quiet.
Yeah, didn't they, though?
Thanks very much indeed. So here comes your 3rd question. Whoever wins this goes through to the final. Best of luck to both pairs. It concerns NBA basketball teams. NBA basketball teams. Richard.
We're going to show you the names of 5 NBA basketball teams playing in the 2012-2013 season. We're just going to give you the nicknames, though. We've missed out their locations. Can you fill in those gaps? The team that gets the most obscure answer is going to play for the jackpot.
OK, thanks very much. So let's reveal our NBA basketball teams, and here they are. We have the Knicks, the 76ers, the Celtics, the Bulls, and the Wizards. I'll read those one last time. The Knicks, the 76ers, the Celtics, the Bulls, and the Wizards. There we are, 5 NBA basketball teams. Lee and Simon, you go first. Whoever gets the most obscure answer is playing for our jackpot.
OK, we'll go for number 2. I think that's Philadelphia.
The Philadelphia 76ers, say Lee and Simon. The Philadelphia 76ers. Janet and Alex, take us through the board if you can.
I'm afraid we don't know the others, so we'll just say the Chicago Bulls.
The Chicago Bulls,
Yes.
say Janet and Alex. So we have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Chicago Bulls. Let's see if Lee and Simon are right with Philadelphia, and if they are, let's see how many of our 100 people said Philadelphia. Is right. Oh, that's a great answer. Look at that, 6. Very well done, Lee and Simon. Now then, Janet and Alex have said the Chicago Bulls. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Chicago. Well, it's right, but is it going to beat 6? No, it's not, I'm afraid. 47. Which means Lee and Simon After 3 questions, you are through to the final 2-1. Very well done.
And the 76ers were the best answer on the board as well. You couldn't have beaten it, I'm afraid. Named after the year in which the Declaration of Independence was signed. The top one is the New York Knicks. Would have scored you 40. It's the Boston Celtics. Would have scored you 23. And this is a good answer as well. Well done if you said the Washington Wizards. That would have scored you 8 points. Very well done if you got all of those.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So I'm afraid at the end of our head-to-head round, the losing pair leaving us this time for good, it's Janet and Alex. Well, you played very well indeed there. It was tough, the stills of Booker Prize winning. Did you know any of those other ones?
Schindler's List, as soon as you said it, was like, oh, it's Schindler's List.
Yeah, I know, tough. But I'm sorry, this is where we have to say goodbye to you, but we've loved having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing. Janet and Alex. But for Lee and Simon, it's now time for our pointless final. Well, congratulations, Lee and Simon. You've seen off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy, so very well done.
Thank you.
You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £2,000. Well, it's been a pretty unblemished performance from you today. Really, really good. 76ers was a brilliant. Philadelphia 76ers, absolutely fantastic answer there. What would you like to see come up in this last round?
Anything music-related, sport-related, I think we're probably quite strong on.
TV comedy, maybe, you know, sitcoms or something. But,
OK, well, very, very best of luck. As always, you have to start this round by choosing a category. You have 4 choices, and here they are. Euro 2012, children's films, Madrid, country music stars.
no brainer for me, Euro 2012. It has to be, yeah. You happy with that?
Yeah.
OK, no hesitation there. Euro 2012. Euro 2012 it is.
OK, and you can choose any of your answers from any of these 3 questions, please. We're looking for any player who made an on-field appearance for Spain during the tournament. We are looking for anybody who scored against England, including in penalty shootout. And we are looking for any city in which matches were played. So any player who appeared for Spain, any player who scored against England, and any city in which a match was played. Very best of luck and good luck at home as well.
OK, now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. And to win that jackpot of £2,000, just one of those answers has to be pointless. Now, remember, the answers you give can come from any of these categories. It's up to you. They can be all 3 from one category, 2 from one, 1 from another. Entirely up to you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
OK, who did England play against?
I'm struggling with players who scored against England.
What teams were they?
My mind's gone blank on who scored.
OK, all right.
So,
Thanks
cities, one's called Lviv, wasn't it? Lviv. Players who appeared for Spain, Jordi Alba.
Jordi Alba, Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro. Can you think of any that came on as a sub? Torres did, but it'd be too high.
Yeah. Where were the countries? Where is it
was
held?
Ukraine and Poland, wasn't it?
OK, yeah. So
Warsaw. I'm not sure about obscure.
Gdansk.
Yeah.
Ukraine City.
Katowice.
Yeah.
Katowice, yeah.
Spanish
I'm trying to think about players who scored against England.
I can't even... My mind's gone blank as to who they
I
played.
can't think who they played. They played Ukraine.
10 seconds left.
They
played Ukraine.
Who did we go out to in the penalty?
Sweden. We played Sweden. I'm sure we played Sweden.
Yeah, OK, all right.
We might be best to avoid that one. I'm really not sure.
All right. Well,
2 Spanish players in a city.
OK, that's your time up. I now need your 3 answers. What are you going to give me?
So we'll go cities that was played.
Yep.
Lviv.
Lviv.
I'll go Gdansk.
Gdansk.
And Pedro for
Spain.
And Pedro playing on field for Spain.
Yeah.
OK, of those 3 answers, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Maybe Pedro.
OK.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
We'll put Pedro last, and which is your least likely to be pointless?
Lviv.
Is that what you're saying? OK, Lviv we'll put first. OK, let's put those up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have got Lviv, Gdansk, and Pedro. Well, very, very best of luck. Your first answer was Lviv. Now, if this is correct and it is pointless, you will win that jackpot of £2,000. What would you do with your share of the jackpot, Lee?
Some form of travel. I like to watch a bit of French football as well, like Saint-Etienne. So I like to go for the Lyon derby every year. We're looking at away games at the moment, so I'd like to go to maybe watch them in Nice, somewhere like that.
Very nice indeed. Simon, how about you?
Hoping to go to a big summer music festival, so maybe do a European music festival perhaps in the summer would be great. Go towards that, for sure.
OK, well, very, very best of luck. 3 good answers up on the board. Let's find out. Elviv, your first answer. Obviously, it has to be correct, and then it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. So for £2,000, was Lviv a host city in Euro 2012? It was. It's a correct answer. Now, this one you thought of quite early on in your minute, but it's taking us down through the teens into single figures. Now, if this goes down to 0, you leave here. Yes! You have done it! Very well done indeed. Very well done. Congratulations. £2,000.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations. Lviv was a pointless answer, which means you go home with our jackpot of £2,000. That's fantastic. You weren't quite sure about Lviv, were you?
I wasn't sure. You know, I was helped by, you know, they have the names of the cities in the middle of the advertising board. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Yeah.
Well, that was all it needed to be. Richard,
No, well, that's the perfect way to win pointless, isn't it? Those things that are just, they're somewhere in your head. You've done terrifically well for 2 shows now. The only thing we've caught you out on is fashion across those 2 shows.
Yeah. Not surprisingly.
Lviv, yeah, it's in Ukraine. Used to be in Poland, funnily enough, but now in Ukraine, and Germany, Denmark and Portugal all played there. Now, Gdansk, if we'd had to gone on to that, it was a correct answer, but would have scored 1 point.
Oh.
And Pedro, if we'd gone on to that, there's another pointless answer.
Very well done.
Very nice category. I'm sure it's a nice category for some people at home as well. So let's take a look at some more pointless answers. Spanish players. David Silva would have been a pointless answer. Juan Mata, who plays for Chelsea, would have been a pointless answer. Santi Cazorla, the Arsenal player, would have been pointless. Sergio Busquets of Barcelona. You could have also had Arbeloa, Negredo and Jesus Navas. They would have all been pointless. And Pedro, of course, Pedro Rodriguez. Let's take a look at players who scored against England. These first 2 were in the penalty shootout with Italy. Alessandro Diamiante, Nocerino and Olof Mellberg, who scored for Sweden. All of those would have been pointless. Very well done if you said any of those. And the other cities, there are only 4. So Lviv was a terrific answer. Kharkiv, Poznan and Wroclaw as well. All of those pointless answers. Very, very well done if you've got any of those at home. And congratulations in the studio. Great performance.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Lee and Simon, who go away with today's jackpot of £2,000. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.